some warm up. So just take a nice big inhale, lengthen out your back, sending your shoulder blades down your back, sending the crown of your head up towards the sky. And then with your exhale, bring your arms up overhead, have your palms touch, and if possible, look up towards your palms. Take that breath in. And on the exhale, start to twist over to the right, dropping your right hand behind you and your left hand onto your right knee. As you continue to twist, you're just going to gently draw your neck over that right shoulder. Nice and gentle here. And then when you are looking over your right shoulder, just gently draw it down. Draw your chin towards your chest. Take a nice big inhale here. And then on the exhale, we're going to release, coming back forward. We're going to go the opposite way. Same idea, bringing your arms up overhead, palms touch, follow up with your gaze, and then start to twist over to the left. Dropping down your right hand onto your left knee and your left fingertips behind you. Looking over your shoulder. Once there, start to draw your chin down towards your chest. Take a nice big inhale here. And a nice exhale. As you exhale, you're coming back forward. We're going to warm up our backs a little bit by bringing our arms into a cactus pose. And then drawing forward, kind of like a football field. Bringing the right arm underneath the left arm and just bringing the back of your hand to the back of your hand. Now, if that is uncomfortable, then just bring your hands onto your shoulders like you're giving yourself a big squeeze. Both are equally beneficial, and we're just opening up your back. If it feels great, you can challenge yourself by driving those fingertips up towards the sky, bringing your elbows up towards your mouth, and that gives you a little bit more of a back opening. Again, always using your breath here. Nice big inhale. And the exhale. And we're going to switch sides. So releasing that, coming back into your cactus pose. And then the other way. Bringing this time your left arm underneath your right arm. And then just having the back of your hand to the back of your hand. Again, if that's uncomfortable, just give yourself a big squeeze. It's all the same muscles are opening up. And then if you want to challenge a little bit, you can just send those fingertips up towards the sky, bringing your elbow sort of in line with your mouth. Still sitting up nice and tall, still letting your shoulder blades come down your back. Take a nice big inhale here. And an exhale. And then release. From here, we're going to come into our tabletop and warm up our spine a little bit. So coming into tabletop, you want to make sure that your hands are right below your shoulders. Your fingers are nice and wide, rooting those index fingers pointed towards the front of the mat, and drawing your fingertips into the mat will take some of the pressure off your wrists and some of the pressure off your shoulders. You want your knees right below your hips. We're going to do something called cat-cow here. As you take an inhale breath in, you're going to want to drop your belly down nice and low. Your tailbone kind of comes up and your head slightly up. You think about sliding your shoulder blades together on your back. And then as you start to exhale, you press away, allowing your back to round up towards the sky. Your tailbone drops down, your head drops down, your shoulder blades slide way away. And then you take that nice big inhale again and drop your belly down, tailbone up, shoulder blades together. And then exhale, same, pressing it all the way. And then warm up this way a little bit on your own, just feeling how good that feels when you do that cat-cow, that big drop down, and then pressing all the air out. And one more time, dropping down, and then pressing all the air out. And then still in this position, we're going to come into a modified pigeon pose. So standing up your left knee towards your left wrist and allowing your right leg to slide all the way back. And from here, you can just press through the mat, setting the crown of your head up to the sky. You might need to adjust your heel a little bit so that you can get a nice comfortable position here in your pigeon pose. If that is hurting you at all, you can take your block and just tuck it underneath your hip right there. And then just take a couple of breaths here. Pressing through your hands, bending the crown of your head up high to the sky, sliding your shoulder blades down your back, Just allowing this whole opening here in your hip. Make sure it's nice and comfortable. Take a nice big inhale. And the exhale. If this feels great, you can stay here. If you want to bring it down a little bit, you can come down, walking your fingertips out to the front of your mat and coming down onto your forearms. Don't let your head come down onto the mat. It's better to have your whole chest open, allowing a nice open airway. You want to make sure you're getting all the benefit of this opening by getting lots of airflow into your lungs, into your body, into the organs. And we'll just take one breath here. And the exhale. And then to come out of this, we're going to walk our hands back up, pressing through the mat, back into that extension, and then allowing yourself to come back into your tabletop, switching sides, and we're going to move to the other side. Come back into your alignment though, make sure that your your wrists are underneath your shoulders, and then this time we'll slide our right knee up towards our right wrist, and send your left all the way back, nice and long. Adjust that heel underneath so that you can comfortably come down a little bit. Move your block if you need to so that your hip is open but not hurting. And then again, just press your hands into the mat. Allow the front of your head to go up to the sky. Bend your shoulder blades down your back. And that allows you to have a couple of breaths here, just creating that space. Opening up your hip in a little way that doesn't normally get opened. And using your air. From here, you're going to want to walk your fingers down, if that was comfortable on the other side, coming into your forearms. And again, keeping your airway nice and open. Using your breath here, nice big breath in. And a nice big breath out. And then we're going to walk our hands all the way back up. We're going to come back into our tabletop. So maybe just tuck your left toes, raise your left knee. You can send your right leg back to match, coming through into a plank pose, and then drop both of your knees down, and we're back into our tabletop. And from here, we're going to come all the way down onto the mat, onto our bellies. So best way is to bring that left hand down onto your forearm, bring your right hand down onto your forearm, sort of coming through a puppy pose in order to get there, just lengthening back your left leg and your right leg and coming all the way down onto your tummy. We're going to move through a pose called a cobra pose. So I want your hands nice and high up here by your eyes. Have your face viewing down towards your mat in a very neutral position. You want your arms parallel to your body, and then we're going to come up in a very slow back extension. So when you're ready, press your hands into the mat, start to press your forearms into the mat. Keep your gaze very neutral, just down towards the mat or towards your baseboards, and you're just going to come up, lifting up to your breastbone. So not too high, just enough that you start to feel that in your lower back. Again, if it's too much, come down and take a nice big inhale. And exhale. And one more breath in. And the breath out. And coming all the way back down. We're going to do that again, but we're going to go a little bit higher. So if that was high enough for you, then we're going to come back into your cobra. If you want to try, into your sphinx. If you want to come into your cobra, we're going to slide your hands down right beside your chest now. Keeping your hands nice and wide, keeping your elbows tucked in towards your body. Same thing, start to engage your hands first, pressing through your mat, starting to draw your shoulder blades down your back, and come up only to your belly button. Arms stay soft here, you don't want to lengthen out your arms too much. You want your gaze just to be towards the front of the room, not up high. It's a big move here, lots of power. Take that breath in. and out. And we're going to do one more breath here. And all the way out. And then come all the way down, lowering down. We've got another pose, but this one is going to come on your back. So I just want you to tuck your right arm underneath you and roll all the way onto your back. We're going to do a little bit of an inversion pose here because inversion poses are so good for you, but we're going to use our block. So this is where the block came in. If you don't have a block, you can use a cushion if it's a really firm cushion. You could use a book, but it has to be a nice, strong book. So bring your feet onto the mat, pressing your feet into the mat like we're going to go into a bridge pose. Have your block handy beside you. I'm going to get you to bring your block underneath your lower back, right where your sacrum is, so that big triangle bone. So take a nice big inhale here, press up through your feet like you're coming into a bridge pose, having to activate your glutes and your hamstrings and your quads as you press up. And then slide that block in right underneath you, right where your big triangle bone is. And as you can see, it's kind of a relaxed pose once you get the block in place, but it's so good for you because you've got this blood rushing towards your heart and towards your brain. So your heart is allowed to slow down and rest a little bit. And it's good for your brain, the blood flow. It's also really good for the stillness piece. And actually, I read a note that it says it's great for hot flashes. So who knows? So if you are happy here, you can stay here. If you want to challenge this inversion, you can send your feet up to the sky. So try one first. I'm holding on to my block, but you can put your hands on the mat as well. And then try your other foot up. And that gives you a really beautiful inversion. Now you've got your feet, everything's flowing down to your heart and your brain. And it causes you to have a little bit of stillness and a little bit of breath. So take a nice big inhale here and the exhale. Lastly, you can stay there if you like. I do have one more block change you can make. So if you want to try the higher